Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage where we talk all things money. Now it's that time of the month where I think about the month ahead and getting my budget sorted. So I thought I'd do a budget with me, and I would also love to show you my new budget planner. Now if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I am the biggest fan of a budget planner. It helps me to keep on track of our finances. It enables us to save money and look at areas where we're overspending. I just love this budget method, and this is my updated budget planner. Now again, if you've watched my videos a while, you'll know that I've used the same budget planner for a long time, but I just felt like it needed tweaking slightly, and you'll see I've taken a page out and just changed things around slightly, and I can't tell you how much I love the new look. I won't tell you how long it took me to actually design this because it took longer than I thought it would, but it doesn't matter because I'm so pleased with the end result. And also, this is the first product on my new Etsy shop, so you can then, if you want to, go and download this on there. I'll leave a link below to my new shop. Go and feel free to have a check on there. I'd love it if you could go and have a look and perhaps buy something and support that for me. That would be fantastic. But this is my new budget planner. So as always, let's get started. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And here we go. So the first page is slightly different. So instead of it just being like an overview, I have called it the bills calendar this time rather than just an overview, and I've just changed the setup slightly so it looks a bit clearer. I'm loving how this looks so far. And again, if you've watched these before, you'll know that I have stickers that show my monthly bills and when they go out. I show these every time I'm here. They are these from this shop, Happy Cutie Studio. So let's get the stickers on here as a starting point. So the first ones that go out are the mortgage, which is on the first, and then council tax also goes out on the first of the month. So we'll pop those two there. So the biggest payment goes out on the first because our mortgage is our biggest payment. The next one is water, and that goes out a week later, so that goes out on the 8th. Stick that on there. There we go. The next one then is our Wi-Fi bill, and that goes out on the 11th. Well, actually this says Wi-Fi, but it actually is the TV and broadband. It's the same direct debit, but they both go out on the same day, on the 11th. Next one is my phone bill, and that goes out on the 13th. The gas and electric go out on the 22nd. Again, that's a combined bill. So there we go. And the final, perhaps the best one, is payday. So I get paid once a month at the end, well, towards the end of the month, and that will be the 24th this month. So that is my new bills calendar, and obviously there's more room to add things in, which I may do at some point. There are another couple of bills that we have, not bills, like direct debits for something that I don't have a sticker for, so I probably will write those on. But that's the first page. I love how clear that looks. So at a glance, you can totally see just what is going to go out during the month and when. So if you budget, maybe you're paid weekly, you can see which ones go out when and use it that way as well. I love the overview of that. But that's the first page of the new budget planner. So turning over, now the monthly budget page looks different. In fact, it looks very similar now to the zero-based budget printable that I did. I'll leave a link below to that video if you've not seen that. It explains in more detail how to use this. But the monthly budget page is one of the ones that I really thought needed changing up, and now that I've done it, I'm like, I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. So again, there's income and amount. So fixed expenses, so in the old one I had these all typed, but actually I had a couple of messages saying that people had different fixed expenses, so could they leave those, like could the box be left blank so they could fill those in themselves? I always talk about our varied expenses during these videos, but you'll notice now there's a sinking fund section, a debt repayment section, an investments and savings section, and then here you kind of show what after all income minus all of this, and if there's a difference. And it depends if you use the zero-based budget method, but if you don't, so you don't budget to every penny, you know, you'll have a number in there as well. So food this month for us is still going to be £300. But there are still so many things we just can't get at the shop, so I think that trying to lower that at the moment is it's just not realistic, and a budget needs to be realistic and it needs to adapt sometimes to what the current situation is. Petrol, so it's been such a reduced amount in petrol so far for the past kind of 3 months. I think I'll still leave this at 80. I do have to go back into work for a couple of days, so I'll put that as 80. Miscellaneous, so that's our household, the cats, anything that doesn't really fit anywhere else. This stays at £100. And then children, so we've got 2 children. If you're new here, we've got 2 young children. Their budget is always £100 a month. And we rarely hit that, to be fair. And then you can say I've got a total, so 380, 480, 580 is our variable expenses there. He's hoping I can stick to that this month, because I don't always. So investments and savings, so I'm going to aim to put £700 in investments, and I'm going to aim to put £100 into our emergency fund. So I talked a while ago about how I want to increase the amount we have in our emergency fund, but it is a long-term goal rather than that being the sole focus of our savings. So that's the monthly budget. Obviously there are other sections to fill in. I don't have to fill in the debt repayment section because thankfully we don't have any credit cards or loans. I'm going to talk about sinking funds in a minute. I generally don't write our fixed expenses on here. So that's the monthly budget page again, so you can see it's changed quite a lot. I'm loving how that looks. I'm also liking the yellow. I chose yellow for July because it's summer, it's supposed to be sunny, all that kind of stuff. Watch it rain all the time now, but there we go. So the next page is the debt repayment plan. So I just said that I didn't need to use this, but there is a page in here for that. Again, it's just been tweaked slightly, a bit more colour in there, more space if you want to make extra payments, and then a monthly progress bar at the bottom. The next page is sinking funds. Now, in July, I am hoping to get back to looking at sinking funds. I've kind of left them alone since I stopped the cash envelope system, but I now need to think about starting them again, especially like the Christmas one, for example. I normally have kind of a bit put aside by now for Christmas, and at the moment I just don't, and it's starting to feel like I'm not being as organised as I should be, and I'm kind of giving myself an excuse as to why that is rather than just getting on with it. Hopefully at the end of the month, when I do my reflection at the end of July, this will have some transactions on it. We'll see. So the no spend day tracker is not any different apart from the fact that I've put some yellow at the top just to kind of link it into everything else. My aim for July is 20 no spend days. I feel like I'm getting in a bit of a rhythm for no spend days, and obviously being at home helps that. I also hope that in July, like I said, I've got to go into work for a couple of days, and also I'm hoping that things might shift a bit more. I don't like the word normal, but to normal. We're also, after watching the news the other day, we're hoping that our self-catering holiday will still be going ahead at the end of July, so we'll just see how that goes. But I'm going to aim for 20 anyway and see how that happens. I'm going to colour those in. Yellow is yes and purple is no. I use these mild liner highlighters. They're my favourite. So I'll colour that in later for that. Turning over. So expense track has not changed. Well, it's got a bit wider so there's more room to write stuff down, and I've just added the yellow there just to tie in the theme, so to speak. Obviously there's nothing to write on there yet because I've not spent anything in July yet. Weekly check-in is just bigger so that it's easier to write in the boxes, and it's easier to see when you're overspending if you're like me and constantly seem to go over budget in one area, which is food. But that's the weekly check-in. So extra income has changed. So before it looked like the expense tracker, so it looked like this, just a list. Now it looks like this. So you've got room, so date, transaction, where, amount and running total. So you've still got that, and that's the same as before, and then a total at the bottom. But now I've added a different section. So when I was doing the extra income things before, any extra income I made, say on Facebook or eBay, then went into our sinking funds. That was the kind of the process I went through, because any extra income is like a bonus, isn't it? And so you should put it somewhere that will help you the most. So on here, I've got the extra income bit, but not as many transactions. But then it says if you make any extra income this month, then decide where it goes. So either in your sinking funds, whichever ones you have, or in investments or savings. Or if you want to, if you've got debt, and you could then add that as an extra debt payment, and then you add that on to, you would then add this onto here as an extra debt payment. But you need to decide, so don't let that extra income just like get lost in general life. Make it have a job. So this here gives you a bit of a space to work that out. And you know, you never know, if you've got lots of sinking funds, this might be a motivator to get more here so that you can put more here. And some coins just to just to make you think about getting some extra income there. So again, I'm hoping to have some here by the end of the month to fill in the sinking funds, especially the Christmas one. So I'll let you know how that goes. But I'm loving the look of this new page. The savings tracker has also changed. So before it was just like lots of, like a grid, like lots of squares together. Just wanted it to look slightly different. So there's like a money box at the bottom, a piggy bank, because you know it's the same. There's 100 bubbles, so you divide your target by the amount of bubbles, which is 100. So for my aim, so I'm aiming for £700. So each bubble for me will be £7. And again, I like that, and it's quite a motivational thing if you kind of colour in them and you can see your progress throughout the month. So I like the way that's changed, and it's looking good. And then the reflection page is not that different. Again, it's got the colour on, it's got a bigger space to write what you're going to do different. If anything, I've actually changed the wording on this, so I need to print that page out again, because it says, I realised it didn't make any sense. So the one that I've uploaded is things to do differently in August. But that's it for now, and obviously that's not filled in yet. So that's the new budget planner. Honestly, I absolutely love how this looks, and this is available on my new Etsy shop. And I've had an Etsy shop on my to-do list for so long, and I finally managed to get round to doing it. So please check that out. I'll leave a link below. I'd love to see like a first sale on there. There's this and another. Is there one other listing at the moment? I have lots of ones to work out and upload, but it's finding my way around that. But this is my budget for July, and this is my new budget planner, and I'm so excited to use this. When you're doing budgeting, you need to find a system that makes you want to do it, otherwise you're never going to. And this for me is that system. So there we go, there's my July budget with me on my new budget planner pages. We'll see how it goes. I can't believe we're nearly in July already. Does anyone else feel like that? Like, how are we nearly halfway through the year already? It's just been such a strange time. Thanks for watching as always. Let me know how you're getting on, how you're finding it. Are you thinking ahead to your budget for July? Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.